What's up, guys? Dylan Rush here, joined today by Jared Wilson, split decision, and the number 6 ranked featherweight in Bellator, Mads Burnell, UFC lightweight, Nikolas Motta. How you guys doing?
Good.
You doing good?
Hey, let's go, boys.
So we got...
And don't get it twisted, this ain't Bob Sapp. It is Nikolas.
Bob Sapp, shit.
We gotta talk about some fights. You guys might have some upcoming fights. Yours is booked April 8th, I believe. UFC 287. We're on the pay-per-view. How does it feel to be on the pay-per-view now instead of the UFC fight nights?
Feels good, my first pay-per-view, so this time I have more eyes on me because always I fought on fight nights, and I believe that probably in a pay-per-view a lot of people will be watching, right?
Mm-hmm. You like that graphic, Mads? Looks good?
I was just looking. Yeah, it's cool.
So, Ignacio Bahamondes. What do you know about this guy? He's from Chile. He's tall. Other than that, what do you know about him? What makes him a good matchup for yourself?
I think it's the perfect match. I felt like UFC matchmaker knows what he's doing because I was looking. We have almost the same record. We both have 13 wins, 4 losses, and 9 knockouts.
Oh, really?
And
Damn.
I think that fight's gonna be a banger, just like they said.
And you want to steal his hype?
Yeah, I want to steal his hype, and I think it's gonna be like Son Strickland was saying in his interview. Let's see who dicks gets harder.
And then also, he's on a 2-fight win streak in the UFC. But like we said, we talked earlier, like Roosevelt Roberts and Zhu Wong. Like, do any of those wins impress you at all? Are you like either of those guys impress you?
Yeah, he had like it was almost almost the knockout of the year against Roosevelt Roberts.
Yeah,
nice.
killer. That was
Yeah.
So it did.
Yeah.
All right, so that's enough about Nick. Mads Burnell. You haven't fought. What was the last time you fought? Was it September? You Bellator 285 in Dublin. Pedro Carvalho. Are we looking at Daniel Whitechel? I know you've called him out a couple times. The King of the North.
I've been trolling that motherfucker like crazy, so I really want to fight that dude. We'll see what happens, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
And you think you might fight this time on U.S. soil?
I hope so.
You want to fight on U.S. soil?
Yeah. I like fighting in America more when my camps is over here as well. The only plus about going to Europe is like my friends and family can go watch, but who gives a fuck? Like I like.
Who needs friends and family?
Yeah, right. But
Yeah,
I like
your family actually.
No, yeah, exactly. But I like fighting in America. Like even when I was a kid, I always dreamed and envisioned myself fighting in America, and I'm fucking fighting in America. So.
I gotta ask you, I've never heard of Bellator going to Vegas. Have they never come to
No,
Vegas?
they don't.
I actually don't think they've been to Vegas.
Because that would be cool. You don't have to commute. You guys just...
Nah, I don't give a fuck. Like 5 hours if it's in New York or California or Canada. Like in this type of area, it's cool. As long as I don't have to catch a flight 11 hours one place, it'll be good.
To tap into that, I don't even know if Bellator could ever come into fucking Vegas. So that's the thing. It's like the Fertitas own such a stranglehold on here because of the UFC. That's why they have never even attempted to even come here, just because the Fertitas own it, and this is such a Vegas spot.
Well, Bellator don't need Vegas. We got 3 events coming up in California. I'm excited to be at
Cali's
all those.
fun, bro. Cali's fun.
You worked with Dennis Davis today, right?
Yeah,
He corrected me today. I called Eric Nixick the head coach at XC, but Eric Nixick's the general manager. Dennis Davis is the head coach. What can you tell me about Dennis Davis, working with him? I know he's good at Call of Duty, but how has he impacted and influenced you in your career?
So it's kind of like a lot of people say, I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't without this or that guy. But Dennis is one of those guys where if I had not met him, I probably would not be in the situation where I'm at today. I was like 21, 22. I wanted to go to Vegas to train at Extreme Couture. My old coach, he knew him, talked to Dennis, asked him. I've never met Dennis before. So he talked to Dennis, asked him if I could go live with him. Dennis was like, yeah, that's cool. So Dennis took me under his wing.
You live with him?
I lived with Dennis. Yeah, I lived with Dennis and his family, and like, yeah, he's been taking very good care of me, trained me. Like,
that's awesome.
He's a very, very good friend to me. But I think it's a good relationship. We have like be very good friends. But like when it's time to work, there's no fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling me if what I do sucks. He tell me if what I do is good. And I want it that way. I don't want any fucking sugarcoating or this and that, because I can't use that. That's not going to make me better.
Mm-hmm.
What makes me better is like, oh, correct this. But he says this in a proper way. It's like, man, you're a fucking bitch. No, it's like constructive criticism, right?
Of course.
I think one of the biggest, like, it just clicked when I was fighting Saul Rogers. There's just a small detail, but Saul was fighting very bladed, And Daniel's like, yeah, man, if you just go in there and chop his fucking calf, he's gonna shoot on you desperately, and he's gonna gas out and you're gonna finish him. Alright, that's what I did. Boom, exactly that what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He knows his shit.
Yeah.
What about you? How did you come to Extreme Couture originally?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, so I always want to come to Vegas. First time I've been in the United States when I did the Ultimate Fighter in 2015 was in Vegas. Then when we do tough, we can't go nowhere. We're just in the van to the gym, and from the gym to the house. So I always be at the van, and I'm like, oh shit, one day I want to come live in Vegas. Then finally I had the opportunity, and first time I came here in 2017, I was helping Edson Barboza train. Then he came to Vegas to do something that I was at the PI the first time, and I was like, man, I need to be in UFC one day and be able to use the PI, and I love Vegas too. Then I had a friend that was doing internship at the PI. Then he was like, bro, I'm staying here right now. If you want to come and stay with me, you can. Then I went there. Then I went to Extreme, and I like it, Extreme and the team. And I think it's the favorite place I ever been. The favorite,
Really?
yeah, I think.
Because you trained at a lot of cool places,
Yeah.
bro.
But
Yeah.
it's also like, I feel like when you train at Extreme Couture, it's in in the fight capital of the world.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking
Yeah,
goes
the
there.
Mecca.
Then the Russian come in. Then the this
Yeah.
come in. Then the that come in.
Dagestani.
Then like, and that's where that's how opportunities happen if you're around the right people. Because one thing I noticed as well, not to interrupt, is like you can be the best in Brazil, you can be the best in Denmark, beating everybody, slapping them the fuck up. But if nobody knows who the fuck you are, that opportunity is not gonna come. And that's what
That's so
it's
true,
about,
yeah.
like being where the right shit happens.
One thing I heard from a bunch of my other guests I've talked to from Extreme Couture, that everything is so coherent with every coach. Like every coach, from Eric down to everyone, it's exact same. You know what I mean? It's coherent. Like you have guys that just give the same love, whatever. Like it's everyone's on the same page. That makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
And I always been looking for a head coach too, and I think I finally found the perfect head coach for me. That is Sefo.
Really?
Yeah.
Why race up with them?
Because like I came from Nova União, used to be like at some point was the #1 for lightweights in the world.
Yeah.
But everybody came from jiu-jitsu, and I came from kickboxing. So I felt since the beginning I wanna like adapt my striking for MMA, train like with good boxers, and also train a lot of wrestling. I train jiu-jitsu too, but I never liked the gi, and people always talk shit to me because I didn't train with the gi.
But that's what I say. He's not a real Brazilian. He doesn't do Brazilian jiu-jitsu and he doesn't like soccer.
He doesn't like
Hey,
soccer.
this motherfucker's
He
not
doesn't like
Brazilian. How can he be Brazilian?
Yeah, that's true.
Yo, I gotta ask you, I don't want to get all sappy and shit, but I know you guys are really good friends, right? Were you guys
Nope.
were you guys always good friends right when you guys met each other? Like off the bat it was
Nah,
just
he
like,
was just
don't
friendly.
remember.
I just remember when I came in there, we have the woman training there, Taylor. He says, Motta is a cool guy. And he was, and then I actually, like, he came in, I was like, whoa, what the fuck is that, Bob Sapp? And then he came over here and a cool cat, and then we just, yeah. I like motherfuckers I can talk shit to. I can talk shit to him, so it's cool.
So who's funnier between the two of you though?
I don't know.
Maz is funnier looking. Yo, but speaking of XC, we're gonna stay on top of XC real quick. Last week, the UFC Fight Night, Strickland headlined. What did he take on 4 days notice that fight with Imavov? He won. In the co-main event, Dan Ige defeated Damon Jackson, a guy that was 3-0 in 2022, looking like he was on a tear. But Dan Ige, knockout, devastating knockout. And then of course, Pune also fought. He was the third fight. So the last 3 fights on the card, all XC guys. What does that say about the gym? That you guys, every single card, whether it be PFL, whether it be UFC, Bellator, you guys always have a teammate fighting on the cards.
It's exactly like he said, right? It's a good place to have good opportunities. It's where everything's going on, right?
There's always somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. It's like, oh, we need one here, or oh, somebody fell out there, or whatever, right? But also, those guys deserve to be there. Like all of those 3 are some bad motherfuckers, right?
Oh.
So with that being said, okay, there's some bad motherfuckers, but at XC, that's where opportunities happen.
So all of those motherfuckers might be bad, but only one of them is crazy out of his mind, and that's Sean Strickland. Did you guys happen to see yesterday or 2 days ago what he did with Detroit Dust? With the survival tactics
Just
guy?
quick.
Yeah.
Broke the gun
Almost
case.
breaking.
He smashed over the gun case on a fake fucking.
You know that
Almost-
Detroit. Do you know that the dude came in Detroit Dust? He came into XC yesterday morning. Did you guys hear that?
Oh,
He came in yesterday morning. He got his back fixed by Dr. Sean, the guy that's right next
Yeah.
door. You know, because when he fell over the case that John Strickland pushed him over,
Oh, that's why.
he had to get
Holy
his
shit.
back fixed from that.
I don't know how Jason Manley did shot him.
So even tapping back to Strickland, then like when he's training with you guys, is he always fucking around, or does he got a lot of serious moments too?
So when we train with him, we're in the same room with him. But
Yeah,
none
yeah,
of
it's
us
different sizes, different
go
sizes.
rounds
Yeah.
with him.
But you still see him
Yeah.
train. Yeah, but-
Yeah, but he's crazy. I remember.
He's
one
always
time-
talking. Does he talk shit in sparring
I
too, or no?
remember one time I was sparring. We were on the same mat, and he was sparring Alexander Gustafsson. And then
See?
yeah, at XC.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this already.
So they're sparring, and then all of a sudden I'm sparring right next to him, right? And then all of a sudden Strickland's like, Alex, I don't want to spar with you if you don't fucking punch hard. He's like, I don't want to spar with you. And Alex was like, what? Yeah, if you don't punch me as hard as you can, I don't want to spar with you.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I've seen him leading up to the Stipe fight with Francis and Stipe, the second one. He was just swinging and Francis calling him every fucking foul word in the book. And Francis was like, duk, duk. But it's like, come on, Francis, you hit like a bitch. Something like that.
That's fucking
He's
awesome.
crazy. I love
That's
it.
crazy. So, Mads, you were in Denmark, what was it, the last month? Maybe even 2 months, right?
Yeah, since December to now.
You had a good time?
I came in 2-3 days ago. Yeah, it's decent. Dark, cloudy, boring. That's
You
it.
always go back to Denmark for like 2 months in the year, or was it
Yeah,
because of the-
pretty much after a fight, I just go back to Denmark for a little bit.
Is most of your family's in Denmark and France?
All of my family in Denmark.
Really?
Yeah, all 2 of them.
So when
all
you
4 of them.
when you came to the U.S., well, you said you were 21 with Dennis.
Yeah.
Did you know anybody?
No.
You didn't know a single person.
No.
You came to a different country. across-
Okay, so let me tell you this. First, when I was like 18, 19, I went to Los Angeles and I trained jiu-jitsu with Chris Howder, and I got my black belt from him.
Really?
Right, but then I tried to find gyms in LA, but I think it's fucking dog shit, the gyms in LA.
Yeah.
And I went back to Denmark for some time, and then I wanted to try XC, and then I didn't know anybody out here at all.
I know you guys both love New York, but you just mentioned dog shit gyms. New York doesn't really have any good gyms. In New York City, there's not a big, MMA scene, not really at least.
Long Island, I guess.
See,
but-
that's
Long
why.
What about Renzo?
Long Island.
Yeah, but that's mostly
This guy
they mostly
see,
do jujitsu.
another
Renzo
thing.
Gracie.
This guy is not Brazilian.
Renzo.
He says Renzo.
Renzo,
Motherfucker
I
named Renzo.
You're crazy for that. That's crazy.
Renzo.
Bro. That's crazy. But I was gonna say you guys like the city, but there's no XC in New York City. Point. Would you guys ever live there after your fighting career? Do you think that New York City might ever live there?
I think like
Come
New
on.
York City is good like to go for a little bit, but it's too much sometimes. Like
Outside of
too
New
much
York City.
people. Yeah, outside.
New Jersey. New
Hey,
Jersey.
I
I had a friend who lived
But what
in.
if I'm living in New York City?
Yeah, then you living in New York City. I had a buddy who lived in Jersey, like Denville. I'd like to live there. That's a nice little place.
I used to like to live in New Jersey.
And like I said, off camera, I really like in New York, you get all the seasons. When it's winter, it's fucking snow. When it's summer, it's hot. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Are you ever gonna box, Mads?
I already had one pro boxing match.
Did you win?
I won.
There you go.
Unanimous decision.
Unanimous
Look it up.
decision? How
Box
many
rate.
rounds?
6.
6 rounds?
Yeah.
3-minute rounds?
Yep.
Really? When was that? In Denmark?
2016.
6
in
years
Denmark.
ago? In Denmark? So what about, did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah,
Or do you think
it's,
you might do it again?
it was a childhood dream come true because initially when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pro boxer. But the way that the amateur federation in Denmark is running shit, they're ruining the sport. Like, they're totally ruining the sport. It's a bunch of old motherfuckers drinking beer. Like, oh, we did this in 1935 when I was boxing, that's how we're gonna do straight punches. Motherfucker, I'm short. How am I gonna do straight punches on a tall dude? I can't fight like Klitschko, right? So when I was dipping and fucking coming in with hooks, like, oh, you hitting not clean and you dipping, so I got point deducted and got disqualified and this and that. And that's actually what made me fight MMA because I already wrestled before that. So I was like, man, fuck these guys. They ruin it. I'm never gonna make it in boxing because they're dumb motherfuckers. They don't understand what they're seeing. So it's like, let me try MMA. And then one of my friends was doing MMA and I tried it. But
you were a little bit flashy when you were boxing up Borix. No, like right, you did this thing, right?
Yeah, but it's fun.
No, of course.
It's just fun and games.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
You see yourself getting that rematch maybe later this year.
Maybe down the line. I don't know about later this year. I think he's injured now.
He's injured. He tore his
Yeah,
ACL.
so whatever happens. Like I just want to go in there, put on banger fights and banger performances.
Okay, makes sense. I'll ask this to you first, Motta. Not enough journalists ask this question. I feel like this is a very important question, especially in this fight game. How many 10-year-olds do you think it would take to take you down?
10 years.
How many 10-year-old children?
Motherfucker, a 3-year-old could take his ass out.
Bumps out.
Maybe.
If there was 10-year-olds,
Maybe
20.
20? Yeah, maybe 20.
you think you could take 10-year-olds?
Easy.
Yeah.
What about you?
I sucker kick the shit out of all of them. None.
You'll punch
There's
them?
not enough 10-year-olds in the world to take me down.
What about Hasbulla?
Maybe 30.
Man, he's
He's
like
20.
we were talking about Peter Schmeichel, right?
Yeah.
When you can have a ball and you boom, fucking kick it out the field.
Yo, ask him something. I'm about to pour him up real quick.
Okay,
Pour
okay.
him up.
So back into you, Nick. Then obviously you trained at Falcon before you came to XC. You trained at obviously Novia now, one of the best gyms in Brazil. Who's the best person you ever sparred with?
The best
Some of that
person I ever
Canada
saw.
Even Brazil or here, just the best person you ever sparred with, because like you obviously trained some crazy guys, right? Because
That's a hard
Brazil's
question.
renowned for the sparring, you know, like.
That's a hard question.
It's not Mads.
It's your mom. No,
I need
fuck
some
it.
time to think about
No,
it.
no worries, no worries. But in saying that, though, what's it like? Obviously, just seeing Jose Aldo train. He's like, in my mind, still he's the GOAT in the featherweight division. I think Volkanovski is like right there now, right there. But what Aldo did for 9 years,
Yeah, I
it's
think
9 fucking years, right? Like,
Aldo was different. He was almost like a genius, and it was almost like he would like adapt things like by himself.
and the crazy thing for me
It
is
was
like,
like he was ahead of the time.
everyone thought
He
he'd
was.
be shittier at bantamweight because he always had trouble cutting weight to fucking 145. He dropped to 135 like nothing. It looked great
Yeah.
still, great still. You know what I mean? Like he had great fights with Peter
Yeah,
Yan.
some
Like,
nice G.
Yo,
nice-
do you know where Bolsonaro is staying right now?
Yeah, Aldo House.
His apartment. in Florida.
Bolsonaro, the guy that
Hey,
lost the
Torres.
presidential election, is with Jose Aldo. And you know Jose Aldo's making his professional boxing debut this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against me. No, fuck.
We talked about it off camera. We're gonna talk about it on camera. Jeremy Kennedy, interviewed him today. Great guy. I've interviewed him a couple times. He's taking on Pedro Carvalho. He said he's gonna get some revenge for the gym. Do you see that happening? Do you see him taking out
First of
Carvalho?
all, no revenge for the gym, but he's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
Yeah.
And you think he gets Pitbull next? I think he's next in line for the title.
I
with that
mean,
win.
probably, yeah, that will
He
make
should.
sense, right? But yeah, I think in the whole top 10, I think that's the easiest matchup for Jeremy.
Really?
Pedro, yeah. I think that's the worst matchup for Pedro. In the whole top 10, I think Jeremy's the worst matchup for him.
Listen, I never ask guys this question because I feel like for fighters it's less about the opponent and more about like the timing, the money, and everything else. It's not really most fighters. A lot of times you don't really care who the guy's standing in front of you. But I want to ask you, do you have anyone in the featherweight division other than maybe Weichel, who you may fight next, that you have always maybe wanted to fight? Maybe it's Pitbull, maybe it's AJ McKee if he drops down. Is there someone that you haven't fought yet that you're looking at?
I haven't really
Not
thought
really?
about that, to be honest, no.
But Pitbull would be a good one, right?
Of
Whoever has the
course,
belt,
like
right?
if there's a fucking belt, that means extra money. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right, we talked about it a little bit, but I need to ask you, Motta and Mads. It seems like a lot of fighters. Sometimes I ask them, "What's the worst?" Sometimes I ask fighters, "What's the worst part about being a fighter?" And they say doing media stuff. A lot of fighters do not like doing interviews. Of course, medicals is tough too, but a lot of fighters don't like doing interviews. They don't like speaking to the media. They don't trust the media.
Yep.
Not just fighters, but people in general. A lot of people don't trust the media. Why do you feel that is? What do you think the problem is with MMA journalists like myself?
You want to start?
I want to start. I remember when I first got signed with UFC after my fight on Dana White Contender Series. I was doing an interview and I think he had like a British accent, like some guy from some
Now we
reporter.
hate everybody for
Then he was like, "You don't think that Dana White was harsh by what he say about your fight?" Then I was like, "Oh." So he wants me to like talk shit about Dana White and complain, and I'm like, no, I don't think. But then I realized that like he was trying to get a click on me, right? He was trying to make me say something bad. Then he could like get views.
It's ridiculous that
Yeah.
they try to like mess up some. Meanwhile, you guys, the fighters, are who make the journalist careers. Without you guys, what am I doing? I'm not interviewing anyone. I'm not doing anything.
And
they're trying to make you look bad. It's ridiculous.
I was talking about that with RDA, and I was like, bro, sometimes it's hard to do interviews because they mix those questions, and he's like, I was saying, I don't remember exactly what I say, and he was like, just say, no, I don't want to talk about that. Then I think it was before my last fight, maybe, when I was doing the interview, the guy made me, like, because sometimes some reporters, especially like, I'm going to talk shit about my country, Brazil, but sometimes they want to like bring drama. Like they almost want to make you like cry and make a lot of drama, and I just say like, no, I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's what you gotta say. Yeah. Say next question.
Yeah.
Throw it back in their face. What about you, Matt?
Yeah,
also, real quick, RDA he's about to fight Gamrot. I just heard. But
RDA is fucking the most gangster fighter ever.
I love
Stylistically,
RDA.
he's one of my favorite fighters all the time.
One of the most underrated lightweights ever, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just gangster. He's like any place, anytime, anywhere, anybody.
Any aspect he can fight, strike, whatever.
I want him to get that. He deserves that Conor fight before his career's over.
Yeah.
I want him to get that money fight. That would be a good one. There's so much beef
He
there.
needs a red panty night.
But back to what we were saying.
So first of all, I think a lot of journalists should be held accountable. You should be allowed to slap the fuck out of them sometimes, right? But anyway, that's not how the world works. But yeah, they trying to create drama and they try to put words in your mouth that you didn't say. I remember after the Emmanuel Sanchez fight, I got interviewed. I was in the what you call the green room or what? After the fight, media room, yeah. And I was talking blah 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 blah, and then one of them was like, "But yeah, you said you wanted to fight this guy." I was like, "Nah, motherfucker, you putting words in my mouth. You just need to talk back to him. That works in front of everybody." But yeah, that's why I really don't like doing media, and also because you can say shit where it's like you and I know is fun, right? But then you put it on camera. And then all these stupid motherfuckers sitting out there watching like, "Oh my God, did he say that? Oh my God, he's a fucking asshole." Like, no, we talking shit, motherfucker. It's all fun and games. Yeah, and then there's some journalists you can't trust them. Let's say I said some fucked up shit here on camera, and then I'd say like, "Yo, can you please take that out?" Then some journalists, they won't do it. They'll put it out there and they'll be like, "Oh, just trying to put me on blast." And I could just say, looking in the camera, all the journalists who do that, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because if the fighters trust the journalists, then they're gonna give them information and like talk with them and give them like a good interview. But if motherfuckers is like doing you dirty, we don't give a fuck about them.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's why back to Sean Strickland again. That's why Sean Strickland's so funny with his press conferences, because he'll literally call motherfuckers out. He'd be like, "Yo, this Boba Fett looking motherfucker over here. What do you got to say?" Like,
That's Alex.
It's hilarious, man.
Alex, I love him, bro.
I was actually curious. I didn't know who it was. I was curious who he was.
I don't know if he's saying that because he's friends with Alex. Maybe he's friends with Alex.
I didn't know who he was talking about. He said, when I heard that online, like, "Oh, that Boba Fett
the chain and the tattoos.
Yeah, before my last fight, Alex was there, and I was so happy when he was there. I'm like,
Alex is good. I like Alex.
Yeah, I like.
You know he works for K-Chai Press, what I just signed with. I mean, he works for a bunch of them.
He was in Island too.
Did you see what Strickland said to John Morgan?
What he said? What did he say?
he said, "Yo, I need to show you the clip." But he was like, "I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. John Morgan, you're a handsome guy, right? But I swear to God, you look like this merchant from the Star Wars movie. I was just watching. You look just like the dude. I think he might have been talking about Jabba the Hutt or something.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
but that was funny. You spoke about when we talk on camera. We know you're joking around. We all joke around and stuff. But some people out there, some fans out there, they might misconstrue it. They might not understand that. The MMA community, a lot of times, we love the MMA community. They're great fans out there, but there's also a lot of shitty ones. Have you guys had to deal with some assholes, some casuals, some people in your comments or DMs saying some bullshit?
I remember after my last fight, I will say this, my last fight was the worst performance in my fucking life. If I fought my fucking grandma in that fight, she would have beat me. Anyway, I got in my DM, I look at my DM, motherfuckers like, "Man, fuck you, you a bitch, I'ma kill you when I see you," and like, death threats and shit like that. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, right? But it's just like, man, you probably sitting at home beating your meat to some fucking shit. Like, don't.
These motherfuckers probably put $10 on the fighting camera.
And you know what? I also hate when casuals, like, it could even be one of my friends back home, they would be like, "Oh, why didn't you do this?" Or acting like I'm dead serious. If one of my friends that don't know anything about fighting is saying that, we're not friends no more. I'm not talking to that motherfucker no more. Don't talk about shit you don't know shit about. I'm not talking about math because I'm dumb as shit when it comes to math. So don't talk about fighting because you don't know shit about fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think MMA fans are probably the worst casuals in the world. And you got your hardcores, but the casuals, they're the worst fans in the world,
But
man. They're just so fucking like, they don't know. Like,
I also think it's actually something that carried over from boxing, where if you look at like boxing from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, every motherfucker had 20, 30 losses before they retired.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
fighting every weekend. Nobody gives a fuck. It's kind of like Muay Thai is doing now. It doesn't matter what your record is, it's who you beat.
Yes.
And that's what boxing did wrong. Now you have to be undefeated. You can
Yeah,
never
yeah,
fail
it's
this and
stupid.
that.
It's
Where
stupid.
where I'm actually, when I watch fights, I look at the beauty in the fight. Where, for example, I always pick out this fight, Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward.
Ooh.
It's such a banger of a fight. It does not matter who gets the fucking win.
And that's what you've always said about yourself.
Yeah.
You want to put the show on for the people.
I want. Of course, I want to win. I want to win. But if you go in as a fighter and you put on a banger performance, I promise you, it doesn't matter if you lose 3 or 4 in a row. Every promoter will. If you put on.
You're right.
It's true.
If you put on Gatti Ward performances, of course that's impossible
It
to
doesn't
do every
seem like
time. But if you do that, it doesn't matter if you lose 4 in a row. People are gonna watch you. They're gonna tune in. Look at Nick and Nate Diaz.
I was gonna say Nate Diaz. Look at Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is one of the biggest stars in the world, and he's fucking lost
It doesn't seem like
13
a lot.
fights.
It seems like there's a lot of fighters that
something that
don't
I
have
was-
that mentality.
Yeah.
though.
I was saying something about
Point fight.
meds that I learned it by training with him and talking. Like, a lot of fighters, sometimes they would fight because, like, fight something crazy inside the cage, you and the guy, and so much thing going on around, people watching. And sometimes a lot of fighters, they would be like, oh, I just want that shit to be over. But, like, guys like Mads, it's like he likes to be there fighting. He
Uncomfortable.
likes to be there fighting for, like, 3 rounds.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's also like I feel. I'm a boxing fucking groupie, right? I'm fucking crazy about that. When I sit and watch old fights, I'm like, whoa! I get fascinated. I can almost shed a little tear because I can see, I understand what they're going through. Like fucking everything hurts when you watch Gatti Ward and he's just swinging. It's man on man, like that. It's like straight out of a Rocky movie, right? And what I want to do is when I'm old, I want to sit back and like, man, I was one crazy motherfucker. Show my grandkids,
yeah.
like, man,
Hell yeah.
this guy's a banger.
That's why I think Arturo Gatti, like you said, just like Rocky, like he is the Rocky of boxing. He is the Rocky of boxing.
But even I think, and this is a huge compliment. That's what Justin Gaethje's doing now.
Yeah, he is.
That's what
Yeah.
Michael Chandler's doing
Michael
now.
Chandler,
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
That's what
They're
those two
fucking
Hell
bangers,
for
man.
love.
I don't give like those two. If they're fighting, they could be fight. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might not be the
Poirier's
most.
starting to get like that too.
Yeah, a little
Poirier's
bit,
kinda like
but
that.
I
He's
think
picking and choosing now.
I-
He's picking and choosing now, you know, right?
yeah, he's pick and choose. I think sometimes when he want to keep it technical, he keeps it. But if he's forced into it, then he does it.
Yeah, Gaethje's taking a fight with Fiziev right now.
I know.
He's-
That's
a
why I
banger.
respect Gaethje,
That's a
right?
banger.
Because he's a young guy from fucking Thailand. You ever guys train in Thailand at all?
No, never.
You guys think Fiziev has a shot in that one?
Unfortunately, yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Why unfortunately? Because you're a big...
Because
fan?
Gaethje, I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
He's just the way he carries himself, the way he fights, like you just get. That's the type of dude you should be looking at when you're a fighter. Him, Nick Diaz, like those type of guys.
As Burnell.
Chandler,
I think Eddie
myself.
Alvarez too.
Yeah, but I'm
Eddie Alvarez,
Eddie Alvarez,
Yeah.
100%. Like
Frankie Edgar, and Greg
Frankie
Maynard.
Edgar, yeah, 100%. Those type of guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you fucking 55 and 0. Who did you fight and how was your performances? Did you fight like a fucking man with your fucking nuts hanging out? That's what it's all about.
That's why one of my favorite fighters is Shane Burgos, because I feel like he's one of those
He's
guys.
up there too.
So even after all that, talking about all that, would you guys ever consider BKFC or anything like that after
Never.
your careers? No.
Never.
No.
I have brittle hands. If I
Yo, bro, I want to get punched with these bare hands, fucking wrist.
if I think
I have brittle.
no, if I think about punching you right now, my hands is breaking.
I got a big Hawaiian jaw too, bro.
Yeah.
You're actually right. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of fights are draws, really.
A lot of fights
There's
are
not
so
a clear
close.
winner.
as fuck.
They're
man.
so close that it's like, oh yeah, but he did one more jab. No, that doesn't necessarily mean he won the
One more
fight.
takedown with
Yeah,
no
But you
control or
want to know
something,
what
right?
it is?
Like,
Is that the promotions rather give the fight to somebody
They want a
instead of
winner.
making it a tie because they want the fans to be arguing over online. It was a robbery. This guy won. This
Yeah.
guy won. They want the views and the clicks and the bullshit.
I think
But
actually
you're
more
right.
draws.
You're right.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't about like the money side of it, like fights are ending draws. all
No,
the
then
time.
it should be like if it's a draw, then both get their fucking bonus.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You're right, Baby Bahamut already has some hype because there is some guys from Chile already messaged me talking shit.
Where the fuck did that come
No
from?
way.
we were talking about draws. And it's like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Wait, so really?
But think about all the Brazilian.
Because we talk about Petty, you know what's
But think about all the Brazilian killers that are messaging fucking him right now. Well, Brazilians are wild.
Should we message him right now?
Who?
On the
Message who?
Ignacio, no.
Hey,
But
I'm-
wait, you're
yeah.
really getting messages like on what? On Instagram DMs?
Like some guys from
In
Chile.
Spanish or
Like,
what?
what are they saying? Like, he's gonna beat you or shit?
Yeah, like commenting.
In
talking
Spanish or
shit.
what?
Yeah, in Spanish.
Wow, you gotta translate that shit?
Yeah.
You speak any Spanish or no?
Not that good, not good.
Alright,
Yeah, I
since-
don't speak Spanish.
Since he said something random, I'm gonna say something random. Who's the most underrated boxer of all time?
Yeah,
Actually, my favorite boxer is James Toney. And I think he's one of the most
Is it
underrated.
because he came to MMA or even before that?
No,
I agree.
no. It's nothing to do with MMA. James Toney, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated, if not the
Exactly.
most underrated boxer because, like, look at him. Motherfucker's smooth. He's smooth as a motherfucker. And dude barely trained. And I actually took some of his mentality from how he trained to MMA. Like all of these motherfuckers like, oh, I gotta lift weights, I gotta run, I gotta swim. No, motherfucker, if you wanna fight, go you spar every day. But then people are like, oh yeah, but you're gonna lose brain cells. Okay, you didn't know that before you started fighting, motherfucker. It's not like I'm gonna try to be a brain surgeon afterwards. I came here to throw hands. Yeah. so
You
if
seem
I'm-
like you were influenced growing up more by boxers than by.
Oh yeah,
mixed martial artists.
definitely.
But do you like boxing nowadays? Let me tell you this, Mads Burnell. I hate boxing. I hate watching boxing. I would watch the old fights that you send me and you tell me to watch on YouTube, and I'll watch the Roberto Durans and all these guys. I watch the greats. But the boxing nowadays, it's like the guys. I don't know if you know odds are like minus 1800. It's like they're fighting cans. It's like 10 out of 11
But
fights
that's
are
true.
tune-up fights, bro.
That's true. Oh, one dude that's also very underrated. He fought back in the day, George Benton. They say he's the
I've heard of
one.
him.
He's the one who invented the shoulder roll and shit. He's very underrated. He made Pernell Whitaker too. But yeah, back to what you say.
Like
is-
Tyson Fury's fight,
Burnell.
he fought
Killer.
Derek Chisora last fight. Like, what are we
Best
doing?
No.
Yeah,
Don't talk
so-
shit about Chisora.
It's the third time they fought and he beat him twice already.
Who cares? Chisora.
I know he's a gangster.
Chisora is
I know.
a throwback fighter because he don't give a fuck. That's how it should be. Like, okay, you want me to fight this guy? I don't care. I'm an underdog. I'm gonna go in there.
So-
He don't give a fuck
I
about
respect
his
him
record.
for that, but
Chisora
Fury,
is a gangster.
But Fury,
Yeah,
Hey.
but see, there's this channel, I think it's called Office Hancho Boxing or something like that. It's a boxing channel
can we check that?
on
James?
YouTube. The best box. Shout out to Office Hancho. He's
You want
fucking
that?
great. I love his YouTube channel. But I think it was him who was talking about like how boxers are built up kind of fake to become champion and shit. And I agree with you. Boxing should take actually a little page out of MMA's book. It's not about being undefeated. It's okay to lose 1 or 2 or
Right?
3.
Yeah.
It
But you
humbles
can
you.
come back.
It
You can
humbles
come
you.
back. Yeah, it's better. And it's kind of in the bigger picture. It's something I thought about when this Instagram internet generation we have. It's a bad kind of what do you call it? It's a bad signal or sign to send that you have to be perfect. You're not allowed to fail if you want to reach your goals. It's okay to fail. You can still reach the destination you want to go to. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Well, when boxing, I remember we had in Denmark Mikkel Kessler. He's
Hey.
a multiple-time world champion
Yeah.
in boxing. He
was
was
in that
like,
tournament.
he was like 42-2, and then
He was in that tournament. What they call that tournament?
Super
Remember?
six.
Six,
And then
yeah.
then the Danish media was like, yeah, man, if he loses the next one, he's done. And he was like 42-2, and his only losses was like Joe Calzaghe, who's 46-0, retired, one of the best super middleweights ever, and then
Ward.
Andre Ward.
Ward, yeah.
It's like, oh, if you lose the next one, he's done. He's done. What are you talking about?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And so even just tapping into this now, we're talking about boxing. Obviously, like, Francis just left the UFC. That's a big fucking talk in the
Derek
world right
Chisora
now.
just called him out.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like, how like you guys see Francis train? Obviously, you guys something to train with Francis, the fucking giant. But how would his boxing go against someone like Fury? Like Fury, to me, for as a heavyweight, Fury can move, man. Fury looks good.
I think that's
It's tough.
like fucking all
Hey, no
respect,
hate on your
all
team or
respect
what,
to
like-
Francis. Oh, he's a fucking
Of course,
gangster.
he's a legend.
But stylistically, that's not a good matchup.
Not at all, man.
Chisora, on the other hand, will be a good matchup.
What about Joshua?
That will also be a good.
I wanna see Ngannou and Joshua.
those two are there to get hit. Fury's not there to get hit. Even
Wilder's not a good matchup. Like,
No, even Wilder would be a better matchup.
I
Yeah, I
think
think so.
he's tactical. Wilder's pretty tactical.
If
still.
I was Francis, right? if I was Nixie, who was Francis' coach, let's say they were fighting Deontay Wilder, I would take a page out of Fury's book. If you look at the second or third fight, where he was like grabbing, hanging on, hanging on him, I would do that for the first 2 or 3 rounds.
Francis is a big, strong
and
dude.
Francis know how to wrestle. He could use that and then fucking swang that hammer. Good night, boom, we out. 40 million, rising to the sunset.
Your head coach Ray Seppo, he is, what is he, the president of PFL? Is that his title? Have you seen him whispering in any ears? Have you seen him talking to Francis maybe on the side, maybe trying to convince Francis for a PFL move? No?
No.
But there's a chance it might happen. There's been rumors that it's boxing and maybe PFL, the new super fight.
He got a lot of money too. Like,
let me ask you guys this. I'll start with you, Motta. And I'll say my thoughts real quick. I used to hate Jake Paul. I used to, for the first 8 months of I created this MMA page a year ago. The first 8 months I didn't post about him one time. Then when he boxed Anderson Silva, of course I was there, I posted about it. I used to think he was like a clown, like he was saying all this bullshit for attention. He didn't really care about fighter pay, he didn't really care about any of that. He was just trying to get under Dana's skin. Do you think that what he's doing right now, entering PFL, this super fight division, and all the things he's been doing recently, advocating for fighter pay, do you think it's good for the sport?
I think it is. Yeah.
I think it is.
And I used to think that he was just a YouTuber. Then look what he did to Tyron Woodley. He even beat Anderson Silva.
I thought you would say, oh, he even beat Ben Askren.
No way.
Ben Askren,
I had the first thought I have in my head was Ben Askren. I'm like,
that spinning back fist, you know, the MMA fight.
What do you think, Mads?
I was like you. I thought he was a fucking clown when I saw him. But after he beat Woodley, I fucking got respect for him. I don't give a shit about, fighter pay, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Fuck that. But just what he is doing personally, what he is doing, I respect that. It doesn't matter if, like, for example, Tyron Woodley has so much combat experience, right? Mm-hmm. Even Ben Askren. It's just being in there when the lights is on and somebody's trying to punch your fucking head off. Jake Paul doesn't have that. And Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren has that on the highest level. Yeah. And then he goes in and sparks him. That's impressive. Mm-hmm. That is fucking impressive. I don't give a fuck what people say. That's impressive. And I think him and his brother were state champs in wrestling. So I think he has even better chance of doing well in MMA.
He just started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I saw that. So respect for him.
We were talking about that yesterday at lunchtime, and I'm like,
and he's a good guy in person.
But do you guys remember that Tyron Woodley knocked out Robbie Lawler?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. Actually, that's crazy. Like, Lawler, and that point when he knocked him out, Lawler was the fucking.
Was the champion?
With the chin, I still had the Lawler chin. You know what I mean? Like after that fight, I feel like Woodley kind of took it away though. You know what I'm saying? No, like,
could you believe earlier this week that Demetrius Johnson, he went on a stream or whatever, and he talked about what he was paid. He was paid $14,000 for title fights.
But
championship main events.
But you got to keep this in mind. You got to keep this in mind. Yeah, it's okay. We can't believe that.
Sponsors?
No, sponsors too.
They had sponsors then.
Just in the time span from when he came into the UFC to now, or like MMA in general, it's a whole different sport.
It is.
It's a fucking whole different sport. It's global now.
It is.
So love him or hate him though, do you think Triple C Henry Cejudo changed that division though? Do you think he brought some close to that division or no?
What do you mean changed the division?
Well, because like, after that fight though, that's kind of when everyone started getting paid more. Like Henry Cejudo was getting paid fucking $500,000 and stuff like that.
I mean, Henry's a fucking killer, but I've never been like, oh, Henry Cejudo's fighting, I gotta watch.
No, but do you think he changed that division? Now it's kind of popular though. Flyweight division is kind of popular in the world where Mighty Mouse was so fucking killer.
Yeah.
But he's only getting 200,000 hits, 150,000 people watching his fights, right? Like,
I don't know. I can't mention any flyweight other than Figueiredo and Moreno.
Hey, on that note, who's gonna win this weekend?
Figueiredo.
Really?
Moreno.
I got Moreno. Who you got?
I can't fucking bet on a dude who plays with Lego. Come on.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, because he plays with Lego too.
Oh yeah, you know him. You hung out with him, right? You said he's a really nice guy.
At Christmas, I went.
No, he
gave you a gift, didn't he?
Moreno got him a Christmas
He
present.
gave you a gift.
Yeah.
What did he get you?
A big ass dildo. No.
Some clothes.
Some clothes?
Clothes.
That's so nice though. He is a really nice guy. Yo, who's the funniest guy in mixed martial arts?
The funniest
Me.
guy?
I'm just underrated.
You guys are up
That's
there.
why I don't get enough media time.
It's
Yeah,
true.
me too.
It's true.
No.
I know you're kidding, but it's true. You guys are two of the funniest.
Who's the funniest?
I thought you were gonna say Paulo Costa off the top.
He's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
He's funny as fuck. I think Don Fry, he was funny when he
Don
used to be
Fry.
on.
Bro, Don Fry is not funny. Don Fry is a piece of shit.
And that's what's fun.
Listen,
I
I go
people
up to Don Fry and I asked him for a photo, and I was at an event. It was last January. It was like the first event I ever been to, and I had to wear a mask. Like, it wasn't my choice. They said you have to wear a mask. The
He
media
called you a
said-
pussy or something, right?
I wish he called me a pussy. He ripped it off my face, bro. It hurt my ear. He said, "Get that shit off your face," and threw it on the ground,
I like
bro.
Don Fry,
And then
man.
shook my hand, and his hands felt like bricks, bro. It felt like shaking like a tree. But no, I do love him.
Rampage.
I take
was
back
funny.
what I said.
Ooh,
Rampage.
Yes,
I remember
yes.
I watched the interview that cracked me the fuck
Oh,
up
yeah,
with
he
him
was
and
the
Bas
funniest
Rutten,
guy.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they're in the back at a Pride event, and then Bas walks up to him and like, "Yo, what's up, Rampage, man? How's it hanging today, man? They're hanging pretty good. I shaved them up last night." And then Bas is like, just cracking the fuck up.
You gotta see my interview with Rampage
Oh.
back in November. It was funny.
He's funny
I
as
asked him
hell.
about Ariel
Yeah,
Hawani,
yeah.
bro. He's a funny
He's
ass
funny
guy.
as fuck.
You know who's underrated? You guys might not even know anything about his Instagram or social media. Corey Sandhagen is hilarious. You guys gotta check it out. Underrated,
never
funny.
followed.
I
You
never.
would never think it, but
Derek
he's funny.
Lewis.
Derek Lewis. Yeah,
Derek
Derek
Lewis.
Lewis. Yeah,
Jamal
yeah.
Hill's
Derek-
pretty good. Jamal Hill's pretty good.
Yeah, he's funny.
Jamal
too.
Hill's funny. Yeah,
He
yeah.
tries a little
My
hard.
funniest interview ever was Jamal Hill for sure.
Really?
Literally, I had to like, you know, you have your little book right there, like that,
Yeah.
right? Talk to Jamal Hill.
I think.
Talk to Jamal Hill. He was just spouting so much shit. I just threw the book down the ground. I was just like, "Okay, let's just go.
Have you
Let's just let
seen
this man talk."
all these fighters are doing this? Oh, bit.ag some shit, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember one time, I think Derek Lewis, he was like, "Yeah, man, I got this and this," filming himself from down here. "Boy, I got this and this fight, yeah, and I'm just sitting here taking a dookie."
And in no cap though, the fucking even Derek Lewis, like the best post fight interview ever. Fucking
my balls was
like
hot.
my balls are hot, you know, like.
Or when he's with the Cormier, and like, man, Cormier is like, he talked with Ronda Rousey, and then Derek Lewis is like, "Did she mention my name? Did she talk about me?" He's funny as fuck. Can you get all in there?
Get in it.
Let's go.
Alright, yo. Jamal Hill. Glover to Sharon.
Glover's gonna win.
I got Glover.
Yeah.
Both.
He's gonna take him down, slap him up a little, and choke
You
him.
got Jamal.
I got Jamal. Jamal's my boy, you know. So I was like, I roll. It's like just like journalism. You don't want to be biased, but it's like when you have guys that are actually genuine and real as fuck, and I've had good conversations. We talk all the time. I love Jamal. I love Sucker Punch. His manager.
Oh, Jamal.
Okay, fuck you.
Listen, I'm a Jamal fan too, but I really think.
But I do think Glover has a chance to smother him, though. But if not, though, like
I'm
Jamal's
shocked
gonna
the
come
odds
up-
are so close. They're pretty much like the
Jamal's
same. like,
favorite.
the same.
Jamal's favorite.
Jamal, like Glover's the underdog. I'm shocked. I think Glover. I really don't see Glover losing this fight.
I
No.
think some
He would
people
have to
say
get touched,
that.
like just like.
I think
But
it's
Yuri
like
was
this.
able to
I
touch him,
think
though.
Jamal Hill has some holes in his grappling.
If
Thiago
Glover,
Santos took Jamal Hill down 4
if
times.
That's
Glover
right.
decides to
That's
stand,
the thing for me. When he said that
that's
yesterday,
the thing that could lose him the fight.
If
But
he-
if he
but he
just go,
won't.
yeah,
He'll
but
be
if he just
smart.
go in there and uses his grappling, he's gonna finish him.
You want? I'm gonna say this. This might be a casual take because, of course, I'm not there with him. I'm just kind of talking out of my ass. But to me, it seems like Jamal Hill seems very happy to be there. He seems like, if you see his Instagram recently, this week being there fight week, he seems like so excited that he's here, so excited for like this opportunity. But like more so like just like happy to be getting a title shot.
I see the opposite.
Glover, it just seems like he's going to.
I see the
Face
opposite
this,
though, bro.
going to kill
'Cause
him.
I see the opposite in the sense like, because like I coach mindfulness and manifesting, and yesterday he literally went to all his.
You believe in astrology too?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no,
cool.
no,
Because then I would have
no,
walked out of here.
No, no, no.
I coach in mindfulness.
No, no, but the mind, like,
Side.
but the mind, like you have to fucking put your mind in what you
Yeah,
believe in,
of
right?
course.
But like, thing is, yesterday, literally, he fucking hugged every single teammate. Was like, and he gave him a hug. Was like, hey, I want to be a world champion tomorrow. I'll be a world champion tomorrow. Like, and that's he's already got this shit manifested in his head, and it's like, you can't if you don't believe it, it ain't
That's
happen.
what Motta do when he go to Rhinos too. He hugs all the shit. I'm gonna be a world champion tomorrow, grabbing that ass.
Oh, you
Last
guys are
one,
fucking
last
wild.
one. Neil Magny, Gilbert Burns. I'm not asking you. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I believe Gilbert Burns gonna smack
Burns easy.
During
I think
like
Burns
him.
easy.
He's
I think
cool.
Burns too because
Burns
I don't
easy.
see.
I
I don't
think
see how he
easy.
loses because he has more power in his hands.
Better
he's-
striking.
he's better jiu-jitsu, of course. He's a
Jiu-jitsu fuck ADC, man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could argue. Some people thought he won against Kamsat. I think that fight.
That was a
I don't
great
think he
fight.
won.
That's one of those fights you're talking about. That
Yeah,
who
that was-
cares
that
if
was
he
a
lost?
good- yeah.
Who cares? He dropped
but,
him.
But
like,
the thing also is, I think if I had Hamzat winning, but it was only because he dropped him in the end of the first
Yeah.
round. If he had not dropped I think it was in the last 30 seconds,
yeah,
then I would have Burns winning that fight.
I agree.
Yeah.
So question on
That was a
then.
good fight.
So do you think like Hamza going up to 185, like Burns being able to touch him and feel that power at 170? You think Hamza going up to 185 It's gonna be difficult, or he's a killer.
I think it depends on the match. Of course, he's very good.
Of course, yeah.
There's no denying. But I think it depends on the matchup. If he fights Pereira easy, he beats him. If he fights Whittaker, we got a problem. If he fights Paulo Costa, he got a problem.
Yep.
Matchups then.
Yeah. But Izzy and Pereira, if he fights those two, I think he
He
smokes them.
grabs them.
Yeah, I think he fucks him
I'm
up.
not taking Khamzat over Whittaker. I'd take Whittaker over
No,
Khamzat.
that's what he said.
think
though.
so,
That's
too.
What, that's what he said though. He said Whittaker
I
and
know what he
fucking
said.
Costa.
Yeah. Because I would take Khamzat over Izzy and Pereira.
Oh,
Yeah.
easy. He just slowed him down.
You
But he-
train
well, he's a
with
killer.
Pereira, right?
Yeah.
You felt how he's strong
It's
hands?
hard, yeah.
That's what they call him, right? What, Poetan means like stone hands?
Yeah, hands of stones.
Hands of stone.
Pereira's a killer, man. Like, it was weird to me that so many people didn't even think he would beat fucking Izzy in that fight from the MMA world. You know what I mean? It was
I didn't
like
think you would.
I thought he would.
I thought he would easy. Like,
thought he was
because
easy. He knocked him out with 10-ounce fucking
There's
gloves.
something called like he. It just seems like he has his number
Yeah.
in a way.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
And that's just the thing.
Mhm.
Izzy might be more flashy and this and that,
Even-
but I just think Pereira got his
Sometimes
number.
the
It's just
games
like
don't
he
match.
just
Even,
got that.
even Pereira said that in his interview. He's like, in my kickboxing career, I got 2 losses to the same guy. He's like, this guy hasn't trained in 5 years. I think I'd still lose this guy at the present moment. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to say. He's like, this guy just has my number. He's technically better than me in certain things. Like, he's like, Izzy, I'll beat Izzy 10 out of 10, he said. Like,
What's the best fast food chain?
D.
Huh?
what?
These nuts. Oh, I got them all,
I
man.
knew it. I knew it. I was
No, I don't know, man. I like Chicken Shack, but that's more like Coach D. He fucking
Shake Shack, you said?
Chicken Shack.
What
Oh,
the
Chicken
fuck
Shack.
is
That's-
Chicken Shack? I've
yeah,
never
it's
heard of
fucking-
that.
Never heard either. I said Shake Shack.
You know.
Over Popeyes?
I've never tried Popeyes.
I got
You
some
know.
right here.
Nah, I'm good.
Come on.
No.
I say Shake Shack for me.
You get your weight up, bro.
Yeah, a little bit. You definitely don't get that with fucking Popeyes and Chicken Shack. But I was like, when I get here, I'm gonna get Chicken Shack the first 1 or 2 days, and then I'm gonna slow down.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys. I'm just gonna ask one last question. If you want to take us home, you can. Motta smells. You smell a little bit, Brian. It's a little bit too much. I can't
It's
do
true,
it tonight.
motherfuckers
Right?
sitting there
A little bit. So, I'm kidding. But Motta, what can we expect from you? I know you're fully focused on this fight in April, but the whole year, 2023, what goals are you setting for yourself? What do you expect? What can fans expect to see from Nikolas Iron Motta in 2023?
What they can expect, like, I think I changed my game a lot, and they will be surprised because I know I don't have all that hype on me like those guys have, but they didn't saw me yet, and I have a lot of experience. Like, I had some ups and downs, but I learned it so much from, and I think now I find like my, how I say, my groove. Now I found my.
Marta found his groove back.
Yeah, now I found myself, and I hope I can do a lot of fights this year and make some money. And I'm about to turn 30 years old.
So
No
he want
way.
a kid, he want fucking a wife.
No,
Hashtag child
I
support.
want to make the most money I can make in this next couple of years.
Shout out to Renato Laranja, the
Yeah.
real grandmaster.
And
No
I
child
wanna-
You
support.
said you
No
want to be a
child
billionaire
support.
before you have kids, right?
Yes.
So I gotta ask you, do you want to? Is one of your top goals? I know you want the money, you want the good fights, you want to get these knockouts, but are you focused on getting ranked in 2023? Are you hoping that
Getting ranked.
this time next year you're in that top
If
15?
they pay me better, yes.
Hey, I like that because it's like that's like Sean O'Malley did the same thing. He was like, why would I be top 15 right now if I'm getting paid fucking my 10 base? You know what I mean? Like,
Maz, what do we think in 2023?
I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. I'm just gonna go in there and fight, kick ass, stack cash, and eat some ass.
eat some ass, eh?
Yeah.
Ass eater, yes, that's
No,
good.
actually, I don't. I heard that's the national.
You don't eat
dish.
ass?
I heard it's the
You don't eat
national.
ass?
No, I don't eat ass. But I might
Wait, what
bite
did you
it.
say,
I might
kick
bite
ass?
it. But I
Eat
heard
ass?
that the national dish
stack
in
cash.
Brazil is ass.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
The national what?
Dish,
Yes.
What?
We eat for
Booty.
breakfast.
breakfast,
It's a
lunch, and
national
dinner.
dish.
Low calorie,
Yeah,
low
but-
calorie diet.
Brazilian ass is the best ass in the world, though.
Yeah.
So
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
All right, yo. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. You guys had a good time?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
a little bit, right? Is that right?
Yeah, it's good.
We could have done better.
Nah, it's
We
fine.
could have been more prepared.
What you mean more prepared? Are
You
you
guys-
Italian?
You got I'm 100% Sicilian. He's gonna send
You're
you guys.
100%?
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
My
shit.
grandparents immigrated.
Better watch out, man. All of a sudden the mob is here for talking shit. I
I'm
might
an
get
Italian-
slammed.
I'm an
They might
Italian.
fight
I
me in a
went to the
fucking
mob
trunk.
museum. It's
Find me
so
the-
cool.
Here?
Yeah, it's so
No
cool.
way.
What is
Yeah.
cool?
Cause you know
The
the.
mob museum.
Oh shit, I got
I want to go to that. You know
Man.
the. You know the mob created the strip.
Probably.
Like
I've
created
been-
everything
here.
Oh,
Man, I've been hooked on that
Everywhere,
shit
man.
because there's 2 former mobsters that have YouTube channels.
Oh shit.
So I'm just watching
You
them.
gotta hear my dad's stories, bro.
No, but I think it's like
Literally, my
Sammy,
dad-
Sammy
yeah,
the
bro.
Bull. He has a YouTube channel, and then another dude, Michael Franchise. They Michael Franchise. I don't know if I say it correctly, but they telling all their old stories and
Have you
shit.
seen Goodfellas or no?
Oh.
I've seen Goodfellas, Casino.
Goodfellas is one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Next time you're in New York, we're gonna hang out with my dad. My dad
Yeah.
knew all those people from Goodfellas.
Forget
Hey.
about
Knew all those.
it. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Hey.
Hey, fuck out of here. I'm walking here.
Yeah.
The fact that your dad knowed everyone from Goodfellas is
Speaking
legendary.
of,
That's one of the best
have
shows
you
ever.
seen? There's this dude. I saw him first time in that Side Talk New York.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
called Meals by Koosh.
I don't know that, but I know
He's
Sci-Fi.
funny as
That's the
fuck.
guy,
He
yeah.
talks
That's the
exactly.
guy. I fucking love that
He
guy.
talks like that. He's like Italian. And then there's Lil
Oh wait! You sent me that guy.
Yeah.
I looked at his whole Instagram.
No,
but
and then
fuck,
there's
yeah.
Lil Mo Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
He's
No,
funny.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
He's funny as
Mo
fuck.
Mozzarella.
He's like,
Mo
"No,
Mozzarella."
you know what? They ask him like, "Yo, Mo, what's the secret behind a homemade mozzarella?" He's like, "You gotta put your fucking balls in it, man." Like that. He's fucking funny as fuck.
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
This guy.
Alright, yo, that's a wrap.
Thank you for your
Russell
time,
Man
guys.
Levin,
Fuck.
Jared Wilson, Nikolas Motta, Bob
I think
Sapp.
that was cool.
That was cool.
Bob Sapp / Brazilian Barney.
Brazilian Barney. That's a
Always
wrap.
happy.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Jack. Shout out Jack Woo. Views by Woo, baby.